There we go.
What's up?
What's up, YouTubers? Dub Nation. I'm here with
Why
the
he
legend.
whispering? Why he whispering? I don't understand.
I'm a soft, low-key guy.
We had to record this over because they come.
Oh, yeah. What's up, people? It's okay. That's what editing's for. I've never done this, actually. First time doing this.
What?
Doing this thing.
How you practicing on me?
Because you're available right now.
Yeah.
You're a hard man to get.
Can you practice on somebody else? I want a seasoned, polished veteran.
No, you don't get that on YouTube. For the most part. But anyways, soon as I'm sure we get some
They're not walking by.
good audio.
All right.
Here with Marcus Thompson, the author of
This is the part where I jump in.
Yeah.
Golden, the miraculous rise of Steph Curry.
And we
You like how I said that?
Yeah, yeah.
That was like dramatic, the right touch of,
always.
depth
Good at
and
that.
seriousness. Got it.
So we have a bunch of books that we're ready to give out, and I want to do some.
I'm trying to figure
Some
out
of
who
these-
doesn't have it already. Like, are you giving it out to people to give away again? Are these people who don't have it already? And if so, how do
Shame
you
on
not
you.
have it? How do you
Shame
not have
on
it?
you. Well, some of the kids out there, they can't afford it.
I'm with that. Let's take care of them.
That's our audience. So anyway, wanted to go through chapter by chapter, hopefully, but I'm gonna not get my hopes up too high because you're a hard man to get a hold of.
I'm not that hard.
But
Chapter by
we'll
chapter.
try our best because we got a whole bunch of books. So I was thinking
Let's do it.
that's the best way to do it. And I like chapter 1 because to me it was like the summary of Babyface Assassin, right? Can you take us through that writing process?
So
And-
first off, though, you can't just go to chapter 1 because the
okay.
preface, the intro, is really like where the stage is set. Because I feel like a lot of people who see the Warriors now don't realize that it wasn't always this. Like, they were trash.
Yep.
And in order to really fully understand, like, number one, how miraculous this rise is, and number two, like, what has actually been accomplished, you kind of got to go to,
Mr.
like,
Slater.
where it used to be.
I already heard a miraculous rise shout
Yeah,
out.
right,
He gets
right.
a shout out every 10 words.
What's the name of the book?
A golden, the miraculous rise of Steph Curry.
There you go.
Ooh, we got
Look at that, Slater's
bonus
ready.
bonus
Slater's a
plug
G.
from
He's ready.
Slater. That's
He's ready.
crazy.
So before you understand the gravity and the full scope of what has happened, you got to understand the history and where it's come from. So the preface kind of sets that up,
Okay,
right?
let's go through the preface.
The preface sets it up. The
'Cause I
preface
can't
is
remember
about the preface is about where this team was and just how mediocrity and futility was so connected to the franchise. Like the Warriors were a struggling franchise to say the least, and there was this die-hard fan base that were just begging for something to happen. And then they drafted this dude with the number 7 pick in the 2009 NBA draft, and it turned out to be if you had to pinpoint where it all shifted, it was that draft that day, which takes us to chapter 1, which is the Babyface Assassin. This was probably the most fun part to do because it was digging into the stories and trying to get the Steph, like the development of this character. We know the Babyface Assassin going for 20 points in a quarter and all that, but this chapter explains the origins of it, like how it began, where did it come from, and we get to meet the Steph Curry that's been slighted his whole life, right? We get to meet the Steph Curry that everybody's underestimated, the little kid who just got tired of people doubting him. And so, like a traumatized kid, he created an alter ego, right? Where it's like, all right, I'm going to show you this. And he became tougher than what he looked, stronger than what he looked, bigger than what he looked, and developed this like maniacal, like just desire to destroy. So Steph don't want to just win. He's got to prove to you that he is the opposite of what you thought of him off the bat. So it's created an alter ego, like a character that really kind of violates who he is off the court.
And not all of us actually know that, because you see him on TV or from a distance and you see what he does and all the fun that he has, but really when he's on the court, he's there, he's got that arrogance.
Oh yeah, it's arrogance, it's an unbelievable, even delusional belief in himself. Steph used to go to, he grew up wealthy, right? Dad was an NBA player. But he and Seth, and they had a cousin. This is one of the stories in the book. They would go to the YMCA, like, cause when you need to get some real ball, you got to go to the hood. Right? So he went to. They would go to the local Y, the downtown Y, like the across the tracks, right? And Steph was so slight and little and looked real young, and Seth too. So they took their cousin with them, Willie Wade. Now, Willie Wade is from Richmond, Virginia, which is on Sonia's side of the family. Sonia Curry is from the country, right? So they had this big country cousin with them, right? And he was like the center, but he was also the dude that was going to make sure that nobody fought Steph and them, because Steph would make them so mad that they wanted to fight him. Literally, he would go on the court, they would be like, get this little dude out of here. Next thing you know, he's dominating, and then in the hood, what you do? You get mad, right? Mm-hmm. So they got mad, they wanted to fight, but they had Willie there because he was like their bouncer, and nobody would beat them up.
Flashback to White Men Can't Jump, right?
Right, absolutely.
That stuff, they take it personal.
Steph used to be very prideful about going on the court, and when you think he can't play, he would go out there and show you he could play. And he wasn't fitting in. It wasn't about fitting in. It's never been about just showing he can play. It's about, wait a second, you don't think I can play? So I'm going to drop 50 just so whatever doubt you had about me is erased, right? It's got to be the emphatic statement to let you know you were wrong about him. And it was crazy to learn that he's been this dude since the 8th grade, right? Like that, way back then he was that dude.
And how did you learn that and get that in writing and all that? Because I remember you have stories from his middle school coach wanted to ask him for advice, things like that. All that in the first chapter.
It's I went to Toronto to talk. He went. Steph's dad finished his career in Toronto, so I think it's 8th grade year. Steph lived in Toronto and he played at some little. I'm talking about this is a little small. It's a church, right, with an extra portable in the back. Right, that's the school, and they got a gym. That's it. That's all there is, right? So it's really, he went to this really small school that was a part of a church while his dad was finishing his career with the Raptors. So I got to talk to the coach and some teachers there, a couple former players. I talked to Anthony Morrow. Actually gave me some great stuff because he's also from Charlotte, and he's from that Charlotte basketball scene. So he had great stories that's in the book about Steph dominating in Pro-Am and doing crazy stuff. It's just all the way along the way. I talked to the team that beat Steph in the state championship game in Charlotte, and they beat him by roughing him up. They put a 6'8" dude on him and was real physical with him, and he had a bad shooting game. And that's how they beat Steph. But think about this. They had a plan for this little dude. They were like, all right, we got a plan because Steph is coming to town, right? It's been happening forever. It was just crazy to see how that developed because we've seen it, right? And it's
this is the
result. The origin of it,
yeah.
Right? And how it's been going on for so
he was
long.
Molded.
Yeah, Steph has been dealing with this for so long, right? And it's surprising he hasn't slapped somebody. Right, but instead he just drops 50.
His only victim has been a mouthpiece. That's
it. Right, and a fan courtside.
True.
The fan he hit almost a ref. But that's funny.
Yeah, I don't want to take up too much more of your time because we'll do more of these. But this is a great intro to where we want to go, and chapter by chapter too. So maybe you'll follow along with us, and then I'll figure out how to get these books out to you guys. But thank you so much for your time, MT2, the legend.
Let's do it.
Thank you. Take care, guys. See you soon. Let's check out where the trophy was there, because